Hi, Billy Cunningham, the Great American. Let's continue with more. And one of my favorite, if not number one guest I have any day, any night, any morning is Wayne Allen Root. And he has a new posting up at The Blaze, and also Fox News calls that the Gestapo is alive and well in Obama's America. And Wayne Allen Root, welcome again to the Bill Cunningham Show. You know, one of the most ironic, one of the most hypocritical things he ever could have done was to Bibi. When Bibi Netanyahu said two-state solution, not on my watch, and then within a day or two, Bibi said, look, he met with Arabs, maybe not, certain conditions, and Obama would not take no, and I'm sorry for an answer. And compare that to what Obama did with Ayatollah Khomeini, while a few days ago, during the height of these negotiations, which they tell me are going to conclude in the next day or two, Khomeini proclaimed himself death to America. And Khomeini didn't say a day or two later, I'm sorry about that. The White House brushed it off as intended for domestic political audience. No problem. So when you got Bibi Netanyahu saying, you know what, the two-state solution, not on my watch, he then says, well, I really wouldn't quote it right, and there's reasons we should have a two-state. And Obama won't let that go. But when Khomeini said, kill Americans, death to America, Obama said, well, that's no big deal. Can you explain how one is acceptable and one is not?
Well, he's selling Israel down the river. That's so clear now that this man in the White House is on the side of Muslims, radical Muslims, Palestinians, Hamas, Hezbollah, Muslim Brotherhood, you name the group. He's not necessarily on the side of ISIS, but he's certainly done nothing to stop them. So it almost makes you think he's on the side of ISIS. I mean, he knows, as well as you and I know, Bill, that you can't stop ISIS with only bombing. Suddenly Saudi Arabia is getting hysterical and nervous and paranoid, and Saudi Arabia is doing the bombing and leading the battle because they know that America no longer will. Everywhere in the world, our allies understand that America's not there for them. Ask the Ukrainians, ask the Saudi Arabians, ask the Israelis. Everyone is aware that Obama is not on our side. So something is going on that is so frightening. I guarantee you, Bill, if world leaders, if you could listen in like a fly on the wall to world leaders talking, they'd be saying things that would shock you about Barack Obama and where America is going and where he's taking America. In the quietness of their own bedroom with their own wives or their top aides, I'm telling you, people all over the world are whispering the same thing. Let me give you a great example. So a friend of mine is a very, very, very wealthy man. And he's not a Republican, by the way. He's not a Democrat either. He's a libertarian. And he's one of the wealthiest libertarians in America. And he just sent me an email. And I want to read you the exact words of the email if I can find the thing. I've got so much going on. It's hard to find everything at once. But the gist was this. He said, I just had dinner with 3 wealthy billionaires in New York City who are all top Democratic fundraisers. Democratic. And they all said Obama's the worst president of our lifetime.
About all of them.
I finally found the exact email. It's short, and I just want you to hear what my friend had to say. I'm going to keep him anonymous. Worst president in the last 100 years, maybe in the history of this country, so bad that even my liberal friends, staunch Democrats, are trash-talking Obama privately. I was in New York recently having dinner with 3 billionaires, all of them among the biggest Democratic supporters in history, all of whom have profited remarkably during Obama's presidency because they're all Wall Street guys. Yeah. And all 3 at dinner said, and I quote, Obama is the worst president of our lifetime. And I said, what about Jimmy Carter? And without hesitation, they all whispered, Obama is much worse. I wish I'd had a recording at that dinner conversation. These are all very famous names. I could sell that tape for $250,000 to Fox News. That's what my buddy sent me on email, and this is a very wealthy, important guy who sent that to me. Does that give you some inkling, folks, of what people are saying in private? In public, I'm sure all 3 would support Barack Obama because they know the money for their billion-dollar corporations comes from government and it comes from favors Obama does for them. But when the cameras aren't rolling, even billionaire Democrats who raise money for Obama admit he's the worst president of our lifetime.